All right, welcome back to another episode of What Will Sticky Infuse Today. Today, my wife sent me a recipe she'd seen online when she was scrolling through her whatever social medias. She sent it over to me and said, "Hey, can you make this? Can you infuse it?" So we're going to be doing that today, and it is basically a jalapeno popper bread stick. So let's get to it. Let's have some fun and let's get sticky. All right, so the first thing that we're going to start cooking with, or we're going to start with today, is getting the filling done for our Philly cheesesteak. Our Philly cheesesteak. I'm a dork. All right, so the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to go ahead and get the filling for our jalapeno breadstick going. Jalapeno popper breadstick. I guess that's how you would say that. 1 full pack of cream cheese. And since I like a little bit more cream cheese in my jalapeno poppers, I'm a really big fan of them. I'm going to add a little bit more cream cheese, but this time I'm going to use Sticky's infused cream cheese, which is extremely potent. If anybody has gone back and watched the video and seen how I made this cream cheese and how much of it I did make, you would definitely know what I'm putting in here. I also added a little bit of my hemp powder, my Sticky's hemp powder, in with my infused cream cheese. We're going to mix that up real good. Now, I will give you guys a secret that I learned doing this, because over the weekend I've attempted this dish 2 times, and both times I messed them up. Both times were overcooked, I believe. I wasn't too happy with the way they cooked. However, I found it much easier to work with the cream cheese if you actually let it warm up to room temperature. And then once you get it up to room temperature, you really kind of you can put it into anything and mush it together real easily. And it's pliable really well on your puff pastry. So we've got diced jalapenos. We've got diced bacon. I fried a couple of sticks of bacon and diced them up. We're going to add that in there. And then I just picked up some chopped cheddar at the local grocery store. We're going to add that right up in there. This is only a little 8-ounce bag, and I'm only using about 1/4 of it. So, again, with all of these seasonings or these things that you're combining to your cream cheese, you can do them based on what you prefer. If you like more bacon than you like jalapeno, if you don't like jalapeno at all, leave it out altogether. And then it would just be a bacon cream cheese breadstick, I guess. All right, we're going to mix this all up. Make a huge mess while we do it. Because that's what I'm good at. All right, I'm just lazy. The hell with this. 1 minute. All right, nothing like getting your hands dirty to make everything work well. So we're just gonna take this glove. We're gonna mix this all up real nice, evenly. Now remember, we have that infused cream cheese in here that I super dosed. So the extra cream cheese is just gonna help cut down so much per cheese stick, or bread stick, or jalapeno popper stick. It's a breadstick with a surprise inside. We're going to call them Sticky's jalapeno cheese sticks. Although again, recipe is still online. Yes, my counter is clean. Don't worry, that wasn't disgusting. I clean it every day, before shoots, after shoots, and before and after every meal. So I know a little excessive, but I don't like dirt and germs. All right. All right. So there we go. That's what our mixing looks like once it's all done. It's ready to go into the puff pastry. So be back in just a flash while I prep the counter. All right, I got the counter with some flour on it so my puff pastry don't stick. Get that out of there. Like a giant fruit roll-up. go. I'm just kind of stretching it out, laying it down, getting it nice and ready to work with. All right, now we got our pastry laid out on some flour on the counter so it doesn't stick. It's time to fill it. Let's go. God, it smells good already. All the filling. Now, something that I did learn about this is you definitely want to make sure you got a nice thick layer of the filling. If you go too thin, it becomes more bread than it does actual what you want. Well, we're just going to spread this out just like this. We're going to do evenly half. Beautiful. All right. Actually looks like the best one I've done yet. All right, so let's get started. And now that we've got it all spread out and everything is done, we're just going to take our puff pastry. We're going to pull it right over and place it on top. Now, if you go too high, you don't get exactly the halfway mark like I just did here. You're going to want to press it a little bit, trying to press out some of the air pockets. Press out some of the cream cheese, kind of moving on out. You can see here. The extra flour, you can just brush right off. And there you go. Now, finishing touches. All right, we're gonna grab our pizza. We're gonna grab a pizza cutter and we're gonna slice these into stick size slices. However, I am not very good at cutting a straight line with a pizza cutter. All my years of practicing cutting them in triangles. So we get rid of that. Get rid of that. Let's see if I can do a straight line. We're going to get rid of all that. All right. That's a bonus bread stick. Jalapeno sticky stick. Jalapeno sticky stick. I don't know what's going on for me already. There we go. All right. Don't judge me. Okay. Use what you got to work with. All right. Now that we have these, we're going to need a cookie sheet, some parchment paper, and the oven preheated to 400 is what I preheated mine to. The first two times I cooked this dish, I did 415 for 28 minutes. It overcooked the breadsticks and burnt them. Next time I did it for 400 for 28 minutes, and it still burnt the breadsticks. But there was also a part of the recipe that said you put cheese, layer some sharp cheddar on them before you bake them. That just burns the cheese. I don't recommend that. If you do want, once they're done baking, as soon as you pull them out, don't wait. As soon as you pull them out of the oven and you set them to cool, grab some sharp cheddar, sprinkle it on top, give that a chance to melt down on them for that extra cheesy bite if you want it. Otherwise, one of the things you can do is what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take and use some of my infused butter. I'm going to melt it down, and I will be brushing it over the tops of these before throwing them into the oven. So let's get that going. Okay, so we're about ready. I've got my pan with my parchment paper. Jesus. I got my pan with my parchment paper ready to go. And then we're going to take these, after we get them up, we're going to get off a little bit of any of the excess flour. We don't want to be super floury, right? And then we're going to twist these. Just like that. And we're going to lay them right on the parchment paper. Spacing them out just a little bit. Be careful. If you didn't have enough flour down, they'll try to stick on you. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, there we go. All right, so we have our parchment paper laid out. We have them all laid up on the parchment paper twisted. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take some of Sticky's infused butter. We're going to melt it down just real quick in the microwave, and then I'm going to coat the top of those. So we're doing about that much butter we're going to melt down. Not a whole lot. All right, the microwave's done. We've got our melted infused butter. Oh, shoot. I should have cleaned off the counter. All right, I got it out of the microwave. I've got the melted down infused butter. And we're just gonna kind of wipe a little bit on this. That was a lot. Now, just so you all know, I've actually altered this recipe again. The 2 times I did this weekend, I have not added the butter on the outside of these like this, nor did I infuse them. So I'm using infused ingredients this time around, and I'm putting the butter like this on top, which I've never done. So I'm not sure if this will make them better or it'll burn them worse, but we're about to find out. All right, so that was all the infused butter was melted. All right, well, there we go. Sticky infused jalapeno popper, bacon jalapeno popper sticky sticks. All right, we have them in. We have the timer set, 400 degrees, 20 minutes, and I'll see you back in a few and we'll see what happens. All right, so we got them all out of the oven. They've started to cool. They're hot, extremely hot. I can still hear them slightly sizzling, so we're going to let them sit here and cool down a little bit more, and then I'll come back and we'll do a taste test and a crunch and see how it comes out. Again, right after you got them out of the oven, if you want, you can then sprinkle some sharp cheddar on them. It adds a little bit more to it if you want that little more cheesy bite. Again, all ingredients are really mixed to what you prefer and what you would like to have more of or less of or even amounts of when it comes to the stuff you're putting in, like the jalapeno, the cheddar cheese, infused cream cheese, of course, one of my favorites. So we'll let that go and then we'll be right back. All right, so we were able to get one out, get it away. It's cooled down now. You can hear that crispiness there. Beautiful, looks great. So let's cut in and see what we got. with a nice creamy goo. Nice cream cheese goo in there. Mm. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. That sticky bud flavor. Just absolutely delicious. You can see all the cookings in there. Looks great. Tastes amazing. Perfectly flaky. But there you go, guys. That's our infused cream cheese sticks. So I got like 14 of those sticks out of that one pastry puff and that amount. Amazing. And I think I'm going to eat about half of these right now. Thanks again, everybody, for joining. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to thank everybody who's been watching, viewing, liking, all of that. I really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. I'm enjoying doing it and finding new things that I can infuse and then cook with to make amazing meals or dinners. So if you got an idea, you got a thought, shoot me a comment. Let me know. I'll be happy to give it a shot, see if we can infuse it or make it happen. Till next time, stay sticky, my friends. I've got some jalapeno popper sticky bread sticks to eat.